Okay, you should have your test. You should have a scratch piece of paper, and you should also have a reference sheet. It looks like this. Everybody have those ready to go? Okay, here we go. Number 1. A statue placed in a public park measures 72 inches tall. How many yards tall is the statue? Okay, so what do we need to convert? Okay, 72 inches equals how many yards? Good. So we're looking at units of length. How do I go from inches to yards? We got to do a couple steps. So first, I'm going to go 72 inches equals how many feet? Okay, so how do I go from 70 inches to feet? Times 12. So 7 times 12 equals, divide by 12. We're going from inches, yeah. 72 divided by 12 equals 6. So that equals 6. So now we're going 6 feet equals how many yards? Okay. How do I go from feet to yards? Divide by 3. Okay. So 72 inches equals 2 yards. Good. Okay, the line plot below records the amount of rainfall for different cities of in Florida for the month of February. What is the difference between the greatest and least amount of rainfall recorded? Okay, so what are we finding? The difference between the greatest and least amounts. So, looking at our line plot, what is the greatest amount of rain that they received? Yeah, 3 1/2 inches, right? They didn't receive 4 because we know that because there aren't any what? X is above it. So we know that the greatest we got was 3 1/2 inches. Tells us right there in our title. What was the least amount of rainfall they recorded? So we've got this, and it's not labeled, and we have 2 1/2. Okay, so we know it's between 2 and 2 1/2. 2 1/4 is the least amount, right? Okay, what word tells us what we're going to do? Difference. What does difference tell us to do? Subtract. At this point, can we subtract? No. Okay, go ahead and subtract this. I know you know how to subtract using fractions. Find a common denominator and then subtract. Okay, what's our common denominator? 4. How do I go from 4 to 4? Oh, it's the same, right? How do I go from 2 to 4? Times 2. What I do to the bottom? Now can I subtract? Okay, 2/4 minus 1/4 equals, and that's a fraction, and 3 minus 2 is. So what is the difference between the greatest to least? 1 1/4 inches. Hey, I see people that are just sitting there waiting. If I don't see the work on this paper, you don't get credit for this assignment. You'll have to do it at home on your own. Make sure you're working with us. right. Jabbar starts dance class at 5:30 p.m. He takes a 75-minute ballet class and a 30-minute tap dance class. What time does Jabbar finish with his dance classes? This is elapsed time. So what is our word that we use for elapsed time? C. Yep, everybody write it. C. Okay, do we know the start time? Yes, what's the start time? 5:30 p.m., right? Do you know how long he was at class? Yep, he was at it for 75 minutes for ballet and 30 minutes for tap. Do we know what time he ended? No, that's what we want to solve, right? Okay, so it looks like we got to do a couple steps there. What's the first step we need to figure out? Yeah, how much time he spent there? How am I going to do that? How do we need to find the elapsed time? How am I going to do that? Add them, okay? So 75 plus 30 is 105. Now, is that going to help us when we go back to this time? No, we probably need to change it. This is minutes, right? We've got to change it into hours. How do I go from minutes to hours? Minutes to hours. Divide by 60. Okay, do it. Go. I need to see everybody's pencils moving. Okay, here's my question to you. Did you make your remainder minutes or did you make it a fraction? Oh, why would we want to keep it as minutes? Yeah, well, if we made it a fraction, we'd still have to go back and say, well, how much is half of an hour, right? We're trying to move the time, so we want to keep our remainder in minutes. So what did we get? 1 hour, 45 minutes. Did everybody get that? Okay, so we want to go for 1 hour, 45 minutes. Okay, so where am I going to jump first? 1 hour, right? So that takes me to 6:30. Can I jump another hour? Nope. Now I've got to jump 45 minutes. So let's make it the easiest way that we can. So jump 30 minutes. What does that take us to? 7 o'clock. Now what am I going to jump? 15 more minutes. Because that gives 30 plus 15 is 45. So what does that put me at? 7:15 p.m. Okay? So remember on those ones, we don't want to make our remainder a fraction. We want to keep it in minutes because we're jumping hours and minutes. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, good. All right, next one, number 4. Select all, what do I do with that word? Circle it big. The measurements that are equivalent to 48 fluid ounces. Okay? So what are we going to have to do? Yeah, am I going to have to change them all to ounces? Good. Okay, fluid ounces, good. So 1 quart equals how many ounces? 2 pints equals how many ounces? 3 pints equals how many ounces? Well, either one of these or both of these are going to be wrong, right? Or right? They both can't be right. 4 cups equals how many ounces? And 6 cups equals how many ounces? Okay. How do I go? So the first one we're going quarts to ounces. How do I go? And we're doing fluid ounces. I just know that it's fluid ounces. How do I go from quarts to fluid ounces? Okay, now that's if we're going to go quarts to pints, pints to cups, cups to ounces. Could I just take all those right there? So what would I multiply to go from quarts to ounces? 2 times 2 is times 8 is, so what am I going to times that by? So 1 times 32 equals 32. Ooh, looky here. Oh, 6 cups equals how many ounces? Oh, that's nice. That one was done for us. Okay, how do I go from pints to ounces? Okay, why'd you get times by 16? Because pints to cups, we times by 2. Cups to ounces, we times by 8. 2 times 8 is 16, but what do I have to do it here? 2 times 16. Good, what is it? 32. Okay, 3. Do I need to figure out how to go from pints to ounces? No, so what do? 3 times 16. Oh, 48. Okay, now cups to ounces. How do I go from cups to ounces? Times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, let's go back. 2, 4. Okay, so which one's 48 ounces? 3 pints and 6 cups. Good. 1 times 2 is 2. See, they said 1 quart, but they're wrong. That equals 32. Okay. 4 students measured the length of a couch in their home as part of their math homework. The results are shown in the table below. So Masako, his length was 7 3/4 feet. Gordon's was 81 inches. Christy's was 7 feet. Bridget's was 2 1/3 yards. At this point, what's wrong with our... Yeah, they're not all in the same measurement. So what do you think you're going to have to do? We're going to have to turn them into the same measurement, right? Yep. Yeah. Okay, but let's find out. Which student has the shortest couch? Okay, so we need to decide. Do we want to change everything into feet? Do we want to change everything into inches? Do we want to change everything into yards? Okay, why? Oh, there's more feet, right? Less problems? Okay, so we want to change 81 inches into how many feet? How am I going to do it? Okay, how do I go from inches to feet? Divide by 12. Good. Go. 81 divided by 12. Now let me ask you this real quick before you get going. Are we going to leave it in feet and inches, or can we make it a fraction? We can probably make a fraction, right? Then we can look at the fractions and just compare our fractions. So we can probably make our remainder into a fraction. Okay, what did we get? Okay, so 6 times 12 is 72. Subtract 11 minus 2 is 9. So that's 6 and 9 twelfths. But can we leave it like that? So as it comes, divided by 3. 9 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3. Okay, so it equals 6 and 3/4 feet. I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to put 6 and 3/4 feet so that when I go back to compare, I just have to look at my. Okay, now what do I have to do? Now I gotta change 2 and 1/3 yard into feet. How do I go from yards to feet? Yards to feet times 3. So 2 and 1/3 times 3. Oh, can I do it right now? What do I have to do? Change this into an improper fraction. Go. Okay, what's 2 and 1/3 as an improper fraction? Yep, because 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7/3 times 3 now. What do I do? Put it over 1. Ooh, that looks so lovely, doesn't it? Cross pencil. What are we going to divide these by? 3 divided by 3 is 7 divided by 3 divided by 3 is. Now what? 7 times 1 is. 1 times 1 is. So 7 over 1 equals 7 wholes, right? Okay, so I'm going to come here, cross this out, and put 7 feet. Okay, let's back to our question. Which student has the shortest couch? Jordan, because these are all over at least 7 or above, and 6 is the smallest. Good. So Jordan has the smallest, shortest couch. Okay, convert. That's all we're going to be doing on number 6. We need to convert 60 hours into days and hours. So we're really doing 60 hours equals how many days? Hey, come to our units times. How do I go from hours to days? Divide by 24. So we need to do 60 divided by 24. 60 divided by 24. Now, what is your remainder going to be? A fraction, or is it going to be hours? Look at the question again. Hours. Okay, go. Okay, what did we get? 60 divided by 24 is what? 2. 2 times 24 is 48. 10 minus 8 is 2, and 5 minus 4 is... So can we take out another 24? No. So that becomes 2 days and 12 hours. 2 days and 12 hours. Good. Okay, next one, 9.5 pounds equals how many ounces? Okay, how do I go from ounces to pounds? Divide by 12. So can I leave 9.5 and just say divide 12? What do I have to do? Good. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 1 is 19 halves divided by, what did we say? Are there 12 ounces in a pound? I think I made a mistake on that. Everybody change that to 16. Gotta go change that on my master. We're going to divide by 16. Okay, crossing my fingers. See how I'm crossing my fingers? How do we divide fractions? Copy, dot, flip. Good. Okay, so what do I do to 19 halves? Copy it. What does the dot represent? Multiplication. How do I flip 16? Okay, put it over 1 first. And then I flip it. Right? Okay, so now can we do any cross canceling? Unfortunately not. Because 19 is what? Prime. So 19 times 1 is 19. 16 times 2. 32. Are we doing this wrong? Pounds to ounces? Oh, we are. Doing ounces to pounds. What are we supposed to be doing? Pounds to ounces. So this isn't right. What are we timing by? Timing by 16. So sorry. Led you on the wrong path. Okay, so how are we going to multiply this? We're not doing copy dot flip. We're not dividing. Cross cancel. What can we cross cancel? 2 and 16. What can we divide them both by? 2 divided by 2 is 16 divided by 2 is. Okay, so now what? 19 times 8. Go. Okay, 8 times 9 is 72. Carry the 1. 8 times 1 plus 7. So how many ounces is 9.5 pounds? 152. Now, why did I know that when we got the answer? I thought, oh my word, we started with 9 pounds. We're going to end in this little tiny ounce. That's half of my brain said, oh, that ounce is not reasonable. We did something wrong. So that's what I want. That's what I keep telling you over and over. Go back and see if it makes sense. Okay? All right. How many gallons in 88 pints? I always just change it back this way because. How many gallons? Hey, how do we go from pints to gallons? Okay, so we've got to go 88 pints equals how many quarts, right? How do I go from pints to quarts? Divide by do? Could you mentally math do that one? 44 quarts. So 44 quarts equals how many gallons? Well, how do I go from quarts to gallons? 44 divided by 4 equals 11. So it equals 11 gallons. Okay, last one. 5 yards, 2 feet equals how many feet? Do I need to do anything with that? 2 feet. We just add it at the end, right? We don't have to change the 2 feet into feet. It's already there. We just have to remember we've got to add it in the end. So we're really finding out what 5 yards equals how many feet. Okay, how do I go from yards to foot? Feet. Times 3. So 5 times 3 equals 15. But then what about this guy still? Add 3, so it equals 17 feet. Okay, so some of them we just have to do one problem. Some of them we have to do 2 problems. Now we have the back side. So far, how many are you feeling comfortable on what we're doing on this test? Okay, good. Hey, Andrew, practiced the violin for a total of 7 hours last week. The line plot shows how long he practiced on the first 6 days of the week. If Andrew practiced every day last week, how long did he practice on the last day? Draw an X on the number line to show how long Andrew practiced on the last day. Okay, we know a couple things. What do we know? He practiced 7 hours. So in the end, our practice time has to equal what? 7 hours. Okay? He practiced every day. And right now on our line plot, what data do we have? How much do we have? We have 6 days. How are we going to find out how much he practiced in 6 days? Well, how are we going to find that out? How are we going to find out how much he has already practiced the information that they've given us? Yeah, so what are each of these X's? How much he practiced on that day, right? So on one day he practiced what? A half an hour. On another day he practiced 3/4 an hour. Another day he practiced another 3/4. Another day he practiced 1 hour. Another day he practiced 1 1/4 hours. And another day he practiced 1 1/2. How are we going to solve what he did on that 7th day? We know he practiced 7 hours. We know he practiced all these times. How are we going to do it? Oh, okay, subtract. She said subtract 7 hours by all these. So I should start and say 7 minus 1/2, and then take that answer and minus. Oh, we gotta add them together. Now, would that work? Where if I did 7 minus 1/2, take the answer and minus it from 3/4, it would work. It just takes us a really long time, right? So, what do we want to add up all his times? So, what is his times? You tell me. 1/2 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 1 plus 1 1/2 plus. Oh, that 1 1/4. I skipped that one. Sorry. 1 1/4 plus 1 1/2. Okay. Now we could group them. Do you think grouping would be easier, or do you want to just find common denominators? Okay. Common denominators. So what about these guys right here first? Yeah, we probably need to change them into improper fractions, right? Okay. So 1 1/4 is the same as 1 times 4 is plus 1 is 5/4. So we need to change that one to 5/4. And 1 1/2 is the same as 3/2. Okay, now what do I need to do? Can I add them right now? I cannot add them right now. What do I need to do? Common denominator. 2, 4, 4, 4, 2. What's my common denominator? 4. Which ones can I just put straight across? 3 fourths, 3 fourths, and 5 fourths. Hey, how do I go from 2 to 4? Times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. How do I go from 2 to 4? Times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now what can I do? Add all the numerators, right? 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5. 13 plus 6 is 19 fourths. Now, why didn't I bother with this one? Yep, I can just wait until I've added all my fractions and then add up my wholes, right? Okay, oh, how can I change, what do I do with 19 fourths? 19 divided by 4, go. What did we get? 4 and 3 fourths. So the 3 fourths goes here and I carry my 4, right? 4 and 3 fourths. Now, what's 4 plus 1? 5 and 3 fourths. So in those 6 days, he practiced how much? Yes, 5 and 3/4 hours. We know that he practiced in 7 days, 7 hours. How are we going to find on that last day? Subtract it. 7 minus 5 and 3/4. Oh, what are we going to have to do? There's nothing. We have 3/4. We have nothing to take away from it. What do? Okay, we're going to take this whole and whole from here, right? And what's one whole in 4/4? What's one whole in 4? 4/4, right? Do you remember how to do that? We've done that, right? Hey, 4/4 minus 3/4 is 1/4. 6 minus 5 is 1. Okay, down here it says, draw an X on the number line to show how long Andrew practiced on the last day. Where is 1 and 1/4? Good. So we're going to put an X right there. How many understand how to do this problem? There will be a problem just like it tomorrow, where you're going to have to add it all up and subtract from the total and then plot it on the line plot. Okay? All right. Dinesh, maybe Dinesh. Bought 5 quarts of apple juice and 7 pints of orange juice for a party. Did he buy more apple juice or orange juice? So what do we need to do? Can we compare them right now? Nope, because the one's in quarts and one's in pints. So what do we need to do? Change the pints. Well, look at the answer. Dinesh bought blank more pints of blank juice. So we've got to change what? 5 quarts into pints. Okay? Okay, how do we go from pints to quarts? Quarts to pints, thank you. Times it by 2. So 5 times 2 equals. Okay, so he had how much apple juice? 10 pints of apple juice and 7 pints of orange juice. So did he buy more apple or orange juice? Apple. We know he had minus, but how much more pints of apple juice? 3 more pints of apple juice. How did I get 3? Yep. 10 minus 7 is 3. How many feel comfortable on that question? Okay, good. Okay, number 10. Alicia's lunchbox weighs 2.5 pounds. Cameron's lunchbox weighs 4 ounces more than Alicia's. How many pounds do their lunchboxes weigh together? I was getting ahead of myself. Last year, a tree that measured 2 3/4 feet tall was planted in the park. Since then, the tree has grown 14 inches. How many inches tall is the tree now? What do we need to find out? Okay. So it started at 2 3/4 feet, right? And then it grew 14 inches. So here it is at 2 3/4 feet, then it grew 14 inches. How am I going to figure out how tall it is now? I'm going to add. Yep. I'm going to put an add right there. But the problem is what first? Okay. So I can change it into 2 3/4 feet into inches. And then I'll add the inches. And then what do I have to do? Go back and change it back to, oh, no, because it says how many inches. Yep, we don't have to go back and change it into feet. Perfect. Okay, 2 3/4 feet equals how many inches? Okay, how do I go from feet to inches? Times 12. So I'm going to be multiplying this 12. Now I'm leaving this blank right now because why? Yeah, I got to change it to the improper fraction, right? So I can multiply it. Okay, how do I do it? 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3 is 11 what? Fourths. Okay, now what? Did I see why we did fractions first before we did this? Okay. Okay, now what? Okay, I could come straight across, but can I make my life a little easier first? Cross count, what can both of these be divided by? 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now I can go straight across, right? 11 times 3 is 33. 1 times 1 is 1. So 2 3/4 is equals 33 inches. Okay, so it started at 33 inches and it has grown 14 inches. What am I going to do? 33 plus 14. Okay, good. Go. Okay, what did we get? So how many inches tall is the tree now? 47 inches. Good job. Okay, Alicia's lunchbox weighs 2.5 pounds. Your lunchbox weighs 4 ounces more than Alicia's. How many pounds do their lunchboxes weigh altogether? So this is where we're going to change it. Do the add or subtract, change it back, right? Okay, so what are we going to change first? 2.5 pounds equals how many ounces? Okay, how do I go from pounds to ounces? Times 16. What do I have to do to 2.5? Anybody see them quickly? The improper fraction? 5 halves. Okay, multiply it. Can I cross cancel anywhere? Yep. 2 divided by 2 is 16 divided by 2 is 5 times 8 equals. So 2.5 pounds equals 40 ounces. Kim's lunchbox weighs 4 ounces more than Alicia's. So how much does Alicia's lunchbox weigh? So Kim's is 40, and Alicia is 4 ounces more. So what am I going to do? 40 plus 4 is 44 ounces. How many pounds do their lunch boxes weigh all together? What am I going to have to do? Yep, 40 plus 44 is 84. So can I leave my answer as 84 ounces? No, because they said what? In pounds. So now what do I have to do? Yeah, I got to go 84 ounces equals how many pounds? I've got to go change it back. So how do I go from ounces to pounds? Divide by 16. 84 divided by 16. 84 divided by 16. About how many do you think it's going to be? 4 is 24. Oh, 5? Let's try 5. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 80. Yes. Okay, do we need to change? Does it we leave that as 4 ounces or what? Set in pounds. So what does our remainder need to do? That needs to become a fraction. So we have 4/16. Ooh, they're both even. So they can both be divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 16 divided by 4 is. Okay, so what is it combined? 5 1/4 pounds. Now, do you see that almost all of these problems are multi-step? You can't get away with just doing it once or twice, okay? All right, we're almost done. A janitor filled about 28 cups of water. How many quarts of water does the janitor's bucket hold? What do we have to do? 28 cups equals how many quarts? Okay, how do I go from cups to quarts? So it looks like I have to do 28 cups equals how many pints? How do I go from cups to pints? I know I'm losing you. Stay with me. Stay with me. How do I go from cups to pints? Divide by 2. 28 divided by 2 equals 14. Now I need to go 14 pints to quarts. How do I go from pints to quarts? Divide by 2. So 14 divided by 2 equals, so how much? 7 quarts. Good. Okay, last one. What are we going to try out for the swim team? The line below shows the distance he swam during 8 workouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, all eight are plotted. How many total miles did Parker swim? What am I going to have to do? Add them all up, right? Oh, I'm out of paper. You have some space somewhere? We used that whole thing. Okay, let's add them up. Here we go. What's this first one? 1/8 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 7/8 plus 1. Okay. What do we want to do to help ourselves here? We have denominators. Do we want to do any? I don't know if we want to do any. Okay, let's just do common denominators. Okay, I've got an 8, a 2, a 2, a 2, a 4, a 4, and an 8. What's going to be my common denominator? Okay. If I have 2 candy bars, how many people have a candy bar? Can't be 2, right? Needs to be 8. Okay, that one stays the same. That one stays the same. Okay, how do I go from 2 to 8? Times 4. So all the 1/2 are 4 eighths. How do I go from 4 to 8? Times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So all the 3/4 is. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way to show. Remember, if you can remember how I taught you the other day how to add lots of numbers. Got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how do I do it if I have all these numbers? Go to 10. Make 10, right? Okay, 1 plus 4. Plus 4. Plus 4. So I slash it there because I made a 10. And now I carry my 3. 6 plus 3. Plus 6. So I slash it there and carry the 5. 5 plus 7 is. So I slash it and put a 2. Oh, that's our slash is our 1, right? Is our 10 place. So how many? 1, 2, 3. 32 what? 8. Oh, what is 32 8? Because 32 divided by 8 is 4. So I carry that over to my wholes. 4 plus 1 is 5. So what total time distance did he swim? 5 miles. Because these are miles right there. 5 miles. What is the average number of miles he swam during each workout? Now this is an odd question because we really even talk about averages. That's kind of frustrating to me. Okay, when we find the average, we take the total divided how many times he swam. So what's our total? 5. And he swam how many times? 8. So we take our total and we divide it by how many times? Now, yeah, good. Yay, we're seeing it. What is this? 5 over 8. So what's his average numbers of miles he swam? 5/8 of a mile. Does that make sense? There's no what? Say it again louder. Right, because they're just asking what is his average. So they're taking all of his time and saying, okay, we're going to take this 5 hours, and if we divide it equally amongst his 8 workouts, what would that total? 5/8. Okay, that's why I said this is kind of odd to ask you because we've not ever talked about averages before. Okay, but if you're an avid sports fan, okay, baseball fans, what do they tell their batting percentage in? It's their average. They've hit this many times, or they've been up to bat this many times, and they're going to take and divide how many times they hit the ball, or got a run, or got a home run, and give us an average. It's easier to look at averages and say, oh, this is your average. This is what, if you did this many times and you scored this, on average, you would do this every time. Does that make sense? I will help you with this one tomorrow because I think that's unfair because we haven't even talked about averages. Okay? Okay, that is it. What do you need to do with this? If you are struggling with this module, go home and do these problems again with your parents. I promise you, if you know how to do this and know how to convert, you'll do well tomorrow. It's just the same thing tomorrow with just different scenarios. Okay, you can throw this away because I'm going to give you a correct one of this, okay? But I want this to be taken home and do it with your parents. So I want it in your backpacks so it can go home and you can practice. Hey, when you come back from putting it in your backpacks, get on extra math and prodigy, please. What's that?